Kurome, come in, take a seat, get a drink, something to eat. Fuck your waifus for all I care. We're going to be here a while. This is an intervention. Your content as of late has been lacking for me and many others. And hopefully, I feel as if this commentary will help you understand these issues. Hey guys, it's me, Ceredust, here to put on a show for you all. So today, my assistant is Kurome Toa. Again. Hooray! That went so well before. Yeah, I kinda got good. Fuck it, let's give it another shot. So this time is a triple feature. I'm covering 3 of Kurome's videos. The first video being Kurome's video on Jonah Smith, who's covering Kurome in a separate co-op along with some chick named Pretty Kitty, or Becca as she'll be referred to throughout the video, who themselves are defending the commentator named Halochan from the 4 Musketeers known as the Can Quad-Op members. Those being Lunatic the Game, Supersonic World, Dark Crimson Knight, and Jonah Smith. Yeah, it's basically just a slap fight between Jonah and Kurome. And now I'm interjecting to explain to Kurome why he's fucking stupid. Alright, now before we actually begin the commentary, I have something I want to say to Foxwell or anyone else in Canada who watches my video, because apparently something like this needs to be specified. By no means am I defending the quad-op. Now, while I don't have as many issues with it as others do, I can still see the video is a hot mess. But you know what's also a hot mess? Kurome's reasoning for not liking the quad-op or Jonah's video. Defending it. Now let's hear from the top, everyone.
How dare you defend your friend, you SJW?
Ah yes, because how dare I defend someone I like? I mean, it's not like the arguments they made to said friend were idiotic in nature, thus making me want to debunk them. No, not in the slightest.
Well, okay then, camcorder guy.
That doesn't get over you, you white-haired pretty boy!
You know, when you told everyone you'd be commentating on the co-op, Jonah, I literally sat here in the most light Yagami-esque manner possible, and I said to myself, this won't end well. So I had pretty low expectations going into your video, honestly. And when I got done watching it, well, all I can say is,
I sure hope somebody picks up that phone, because I f***ing called it!
Hey, Kurome, I get you're going for more of a hashtag douchebag persona, but can we not assume a video is going to be bad based on who made it or what it's about? Because, surprise, surprise, people can improve. Hell, this should be apparent by who's making the video you're watching right now. And while you do expand on this by saying how you thought the video was shit, well, just keep watching and we'll see how valid those points you have against it really are. Alright, now, if nobody minds, I'm just gonna tackle a separate degree real quick, because frankly, I don't really have a better time to bring this up.
And I have a few issues. Now, 2 things. 1, most of the points are actually good in the video, so there will be lots of skipping. 2, I'm using this video as an avatar test. I'm keeping these 3 on screen as permanent ones, but we're going through multiple candidates per interjection. So, without ado, let the chaos commence.
It's no use! It's no use! It's no use!
Hey Jonah, you do realize that when people say they'll be skipping a lot, they don't use a skip card. That's kind of the whole point of saying it. They don't use a skip card every 10 seconds. And it makes it feel like you could have removed either this statement or the skip card in order for this to make sense and give me back those 10 seconds of my life so I can find the cure to autism or something. And now we get back to the Irish weeaboo.
well, since we're done with that little rant, I'd like to add in, you know, a little complaint or two about this skip.
Oh my gosh, Kurome, are you sick or something? Do you need to be sent to a doctor? Well, actually, you're a filthy weeb. That's kinda mandatory. But in all seriousness, Becca, since I know you're the one who edited this, learn the freaking audio balance. Kurome already speaks slow enough as it is, and having this loud background music just ends up drowning him more than a large person in a swimming pool. Yeah, I have issues.
Great point, you had nothing to talk about.
Oh, but he used text to debunk what Jonah was saying.
Oh. So what you're telling me is that I was too lazy to audio duct a point. Got it. And trust me, being lazy will be a reoccurring theme throughout this commentary.
Look at these 4 cuties right here. We got the shy one, the pouty one, the happy one, the perfect one.
So, in what way does Pokemon have to do with any of the following videos you're going to cover? I'd at least given this some benefit of the doubt if this was related to Pokemon, but apart from Discount's new name, I found no relevance, like, at all.
So let me get this straight. Because the topic is relating to Pokemon, it means that we can't have a Pokemon-related intro skit. That's just dumb logic, especially since there was a reason behind it. We covered 3 videos of Halo fans. Since it was a triple feature, using a Pokemon League was a way to use a system of said League's continuous battles to make a continuous commentary challenge. Also, this just came to me. Kurome, the intro skit we made when we collabed. It wasn't related to Pokemon, was it? Well shoot, I guess that means our intro skit was garbage too. And yeah, I know the video was disowned, but either way, it still applies.
Oh hi Ryan, when did you get here? This amuses me to no end since you seem to think that I wouldn't catch this, but you're full of shit here. When you were first talking about the intro skit idea after the co-op when it was released, you admit, as shown in the screenshot here, that none of you even knew why you went with this to begin with. See, contrary to popular belief, Jonah, I see almost everything that goes on the can chat. So, hiding behind the hypothetical excuse Ryan threw out there on Doodle's livestream isn't gonna work here.
I'm sorry, Kurome, citation fucking needed. Which live stream? Could you show a clip so that I know what the bangle you're even talking about? Even linking in the description would have sufficed.
I died the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years just because you're not used to the real world.
Whoa, wait, what's a NEET?
Why? Why do I say anything? Why do I do anything?
Oh my god, this intro sucks so bad I can't stand it. I mean, normally I'm not the type of person to deal with intros, but due to how badly this one is, I have to make an exception.
Huh. How ironic considering how shit your intro was.
But, Becca, hypocrisy doesn't make them wrong.
And Kurome, you're correct. Hypocrisy doesn't make us wrong. Here, have a cookie. And Becca, you know, I would actually agree if you and Kurome had actually, you know, shown our intro card. Without that context, we really don't know why it was bad, and it comes up as more of a pot shot than anything else. What makes this actually upsetting is that there were problems with said intro that you could have caught out, especially regarding the syncing of the avatar pics showing up.
That cookie was out of date, by the way. Fucker. In all seriousness, though, you mentioned the word potshot. That's exactly what it was, you dingus. And really, if one needs context for what we're talking about in relation to your comm, we provided the link to the quote up in the description. If you need the context that badly, it's accessible. You just need to go to the original video and see it for yourself. So, it's not like we're leaving you completely in the dark, bruh.
And yet you couldn't be bothered to link Ryan's live stream. GG, Kurome, GG. Also, how does this counter the fact that you left us in the dark to begin with? Like, if I had poisoned you but provided the cure on the counter, does this remove the issue of poisoning you in the first place? No, that logic is for the mentally impaired.
On that note, can I bring up the lack of variety? Throughout said intro, all we see is footage of Captain Falcon in the story mode of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And that's it. Just that and the color change. It's simply laziness.
Hey Jonah, at least it's not random pics or videos.
Several things. First of all, he really didn't need to add much more footage than that, given how short the intro actually was, and lack of variety. You guys had a reel of still images for your intro.
But Kurome, hypocrisy doesn't make them wrong.
I know this is a joke, but gosh dang it, Becca, stop trying to steal my points. I am an imaginary lawyer. I know all about the art of suing people.
Okay. You know, the point was saying you might not be wrong, but you look far less credible when you're a hypocrite with these jokes, right?
Okay. You know, Jonah was joking right there and you just took it seriously without criticizing it, right?
How many uses does that hypocrisy card have left again?
None. Wait, actually we had to put out a loan on that joke. We're going into debt, Kurome.
Okay, let's just point out for now since it's most relevant, but your acting isn't that great either, Becca. I mean, think about the situation. You say you're going into debt, which is a big issue in the real world. I know, it's a joke and all. If you're going into debt, at least I sound worried about it rather than speak like a normal everyday person would. It's like if somebody told me this. Jonah, I'm sorry to say, but you haven't passed high school. And I responded with like this. Wow, I can't believe it. This can't be happening. In other words, get good, you scrubs.
Hey scrub! You know the flap delivery is intentional, right? It's something we call deadpan. To explain this better, I'll take your example and use something similar. Someone walks up to me and says, "You failed high school, Kurome," and I respond with, "Well, shit." That style of humor is what Becca and I tend to do, so naturally we'd be using it in a co-op. Hell, even before here, this was the case. For example...
But Kurome, hypocrisy doesn't make them wrong.
Karma's just like you. A bitch.
Ow. My jaw. Dick.
Okay, but your example isn't that good since Kitty shows emotion at the end and overall shows more emotion than you throughout the video, which would lead one to believe that deadpan is unintentional. So what I'm trying to say is, eat a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry.
Hey, Crimson, buddy. You guys love your hypotheticals. Let's imagine one right now. What if Halo fan stuttering is so bad or so close together that editing them out would butcher the audio to the point of not being able to be understood? Not every single person with a speech impediment could just magically edit their audio to remove said impediment.
Woo! Good lord, first Kurome, now Jonah. Why must everyone even points they have nothing to discuss? Are you shitting me?
Woo-wee! I just love the condescending attitude you're having towards Discount. I know you were trying to show us how you were playing around with Discount, but judging by your tone and delivery, it feels like you were making fun of Discount. Your acting sucks. You good.
Oh, and you guys are perfect angels when it comes to this. Yeah, you know, saying his acting sucks, or in the beginning saying he's really bad, and at this, he's worse than crap. No, my hearing must be off, huh? I must be freaking deaf.
Baka. Sorry, the fact that nobody's made that joke astounds me. What happened to the hypocrisy card being on the last use a second ago? If you're going to make a joke, actually stand by it. Also, this point feels kinda jarring, especially since you didn't decide to actually show the point that Sonic was trying to debunk. Actually, there's a problem with some of the points in this video, including the next one. Context is just kinda gone. Kinda like America's dignity right now. Also, one more point to add on to that. Kurome, your point of what if the stutters were too close together that editing out would be hard to understand. That debunks nothing. Not only does it not mean the problem suddenly goes away, but Halo fan could simply do retakes.
You stupid mother fucker. My point was, not everyone with a speech impediment can solve the issue of it coming through in their lines with audio editing. So how in the 9 circles of hell would doing retakes, if this were to be the case, help in any sense? It wouldn't. Just, you know, pointing that out to you because I'm terrified you're too dense to get the issue here. I mean, hell, if I kept doing retakes and my speech was something along the lines of, I needed to retake because it's so really close together and I don't know what to fucking do here. Tell me how the hell I'd fix the issue with retakes.
You know, except for the part where it would have, as he could just speak lower, so that the sentence isn't as slurred as it could have been. Also, Halo fan can do it in one take, but he needlessly repeats himself and refuses to use retakes. Trust me, as someone who intends on covering him, I can say with certainty that this entire hypothetical has nothing of benefit.
And with all that said, we get to our final thoughts, since that's more or less where you were ending up at that point anyway. Okay. Jonah, you've denied this being damage control, but I frankly can see why people might assume this was exactly that. You seem to really only try to debunk certain points that you saw as easy targets to save face from that god-awful quad-op, and it's funny to me how you only really started doing this after Ryan Senpai kind of threw some excuses your way to use, but seeing as how he seemed to pull them from his ass as he skimmed the video as he admitted on the stream, no wonder they were shitty.
Again, evidence, proof, photographs, recordings, audio files, anything? For fuck's sake, Kurome, the burden is on you. Now, I would try to provide it, but I don't even know where to start. Hell, I had to ask Jonah on Discord about this, and you not linking it in the description isn't helping matters. Also, the people who did assume this was for damage control are dumb, since not only was there co-op in his liked videos, which really, Jonah, I get you're insane, but still. But you can still like a video while taking issue with some of the points made. As an example, I think my Mega Duke commentary is still by all technicalities good, but that tangent about a skip card was made a much bigger deal than it really should have. You know, and overall the entire project could have been done a lot better. Not to mention that, you know, Jonah could just be like me and he could have just taken issue with the points you guys made. I'm just saying.
This has been Kurome Toa. And I swear, the fact we've all made Comm puns in the title of these videos amuses me to no end. It kind of just proves that we're all cancer.
And suddenly no background, despite the fact that you could have just used a different image that would leave in the background, but I digress. And now on to the next video, being a response to Kirby's Star Warriors commentary on him. The only context you really need to know is Kirby's point is how Kirby points out in the video. Now I am well aware this is the one video Kurome disowned, at least to my knowledge. However, that doesn't mean I still can't point out potential issues it might have. So yeah, just play that sick beat.
Los Angeles, Cali boy. But I'm from Ohio though, white boy. It's every day, bro, with the Disney Channel flow. 5 mil on YouTube.
I said play that sick beat, not trash.
Unscripted Kurome. It's always a good time when this happens. So...
Now, I am well aware that you said in the comments of your one-shot that started all this that being unscripted isn't inherently a bad thing, and I agree. However, you could have added your audio to make it less of a chore to sit through your video, like cutting out your pauses, for example, to make it not drag harder than my clothing on my way to the washer. What?
Can we talk briefly about this little issue that honestly bugs me when it comes to commentaries and all that stuff? Now, I've heard the complaints, and before you repeat the points in the comment section, let me just address them really quickly. So, when a commentary is released and your only complaint during an interjection is, oh, you only have one picture, or it's not matching up to what you said. Alright, let's try to break this down, shall we? Okay, so, the person in question knows who he is. They know what video I'm talking about. So let's not beat around the bush. The reason I used one image for my commentary on Overly Opinionated is the same reason I'm doing so in this video. And that is, I'm doing it for my own convenience.
So basically, I'm too lazy to put care and effort into the product I intend to release upon to Zawaldo. Got it. Like, if you still want to be lazy about it, you want to know how to be lazy while giving the audience something to look at? Gameplay footage. Hell, after all of this, one of my favorite YouTubers, Hobo Ryan, when he forgot to record himself for an update video, you know what he did? Used gameplay footage. Double hell, this is what all Leafy clones do. You know, the people we are most compared to. Triple hell, Doodletones did this before and after this video. So considering my last example, the fact you didn't think to do this astounds me and shows how little care and effort you really put into your video.
Oh, then you could come to my club!
What, the literature club? No way! I hate reading!
There are some cute girls there!
I've always loved to read. Let's go, Sayori.
If your only interjection, even if it's a small, minor thing, like, you know it's minor. You know it's only a couple of seconds, but if that's literally the only thing you have to say, it's really not worth it, if you ask me. It's not worth mentioning. And I hate that I have to make a video justifying this kind of thing. I hate the fact that this is an actual complaint people have. Oh, but it's a video critique. Okay. Now, tell me this. If I hadn't used one image, if I had multiple images playing throughout my commentary and Overly Opinionated, would you have given a damn?
Yes, we would have, because it would show that you put actual care into the production value. Also, not really a point, but can I just point out how much of an emo fag you sound like right now? If I had used soap to clean the dishes, would you have given a damn? If I had gotten the groceries, would you have given a damn? If I had bothered to eat, sleep, get proper education, would you have given a dab? Well, it's not my fault the Irish accent makes damn sound like dab. Come on, quit trying to be edgy for no reason. You're not Infinite from the Sanic. Also, how the hell is what I'm looking at in a video nitpicking? It's like saying complaining about the music in a song is nitpicking, since it's the lyrics that matter. It's dumb. It's dumb and ignorant of the fact that both matter. Now, if you want my stance on the one-pick avatar thing, if it's an OC, fine, whatever. I can understand. Art is hard. I still feel like it's worth pointing out, but I can understand why people can't fix it. However, if it's an already existing character, especially the ones you ended up using, then you have no excuse. And just because one has higher priorities doesn't mean the other should be ignored altogether. Yes, people who do watch them in the background exist. Now, Care to explain how this negates the existence of people like me who watch them for both visuals and audio content? And while I'm currently proceeding on this tangent, can you fucking not choose the most depressing music imaginable? Honestly, I feel like you're trying to manipulate your audience. Now, I'm not going to assume you are, but it's still a possibility nonetheless. And we now move on to the final video I'll be discussing today, and what I believe to be the low point of this comm, Kurome's video on Bowser Dude. So for context, Bowser Dude covered some Poketubers, hated Pokemon of Gen 7 list, and now Kurome is covering it. Let's trudge on. And with this intro, we are shown sloppy editing, as nothing syncs with the music whatsoever and overall feels really slow. Not to mention using a transition slide that feels out of place with the rest of the video. Like, bruh. And overall, feels like it only took you like maybe 10 minutes at most to make this. And even then, despite being able to have multiple layers in the video, Moonlight Reaper, the editor of this video, decides to have no background for the video. Now, before you misunderstand, no, I am not saying that you have to have a background. Now, while I do recommend it, you don't have to use one. I am simply pointing out inconsistencies with the editing.
So for anyone wondering what's going on with my Kill Land plotline, I'm currently putting it on hold, mainly because I want to work on some shorter videos. Since the next video I want to cover in the Kill Land plot looks to be a long one, and I think having some shorter videos on my channel earlier on will benefit my channel's growth. It may sound selfish, and maybe it is, but that's how I feel. I'll continue with the plot after my next commentary, but for now, enjoy this one.
Update video? Vlog? I have never heard of this shit. I thought putting in small, minor update stuff was for my commentaries.
Alright then. Now I'm care to explain how this is inherently a bad thing, since it doesn't hurt the pacing of the video compared to if it were in, say, 3/4 of the video. Not to mention, is in a form of content his audience would likely watch, so I fail to see how this is point-worthy. Now, if you went further into detail, maybe I'd see your complaint. However, you leave it as it update, therefore it bad, and add nothing to it whatsoever, making me wonder, why is this an issue? I should never be asking this in a commentary.
Video's gonna hurt, isn't it?
It's tangent time, motherfucker. Putting the issue of spitefulness aside for a time being, Kurome, what is the joke here? That the people who looked over it couldn't have done a good job? Well, with the exception of Umbrus, or Blasty, as he's more well known as, because I can somewhat understand this as I feel his content is more meh than anything. However, that doesn't mean he still can't make a valid argument when he wants to. Now, Jonah, on the other hand, is someone who I know can make a good point, but fucks up every now and then. Not to mention someone who knows Pokemon enough to be his area of expertise. And that's what Bowser Dude's video is about. Hell, the guy triumphed with fucking Silver Keyblade. That should be saying something about his credibility. And Sketch 1 kind of bugs me, considering he's had a pretty good track record, all things considered. And I might have figured out what you meant, as apparently, after talking with Sketch, he said that you don't like him because you assumed Sketch was only in with Dylan Thomas for information. Now, I won't act like I know this much about the situation, but let's play devil's advocate and assume that this is the case. Wouldn't that make him more credible, considering he's able to get the information necessary to be valid? And if this exists out of a preconceived bias to Sketch's early content, I have said it before, and I'll say it again. Just because someone did something in the past doesn't mean we can't move on from it. Because going by your logic, I can call you shit because you took part in the SOCCOM and Roaring Thunder Pursuit and call it a day. Yeah, see how dumb this is now?
You're just taking his joke seriously, you fucking Bakugan trash!
Yes, I am taking it seriously, but that's because your joke is built off false pretenses due to your preconceived bias to Jonah and sketch.
First off, I want to talk about the Genmo O-line. Awful Pokemon. Just awful. I mean, sure, it's getting his own Z-move, so that's sort of cool, I guess. I guess, but I mean, just look at it. Ugh. I'm sorry, I have love for some of the ugliest Pokemon in the franchise, but hell, even Alolan Persian gets a pass in my book. Look at this awkward looking thing. They have all the potential to be the next Hydreigon or Tyranitar or Dragonite, but no, just a bad Pokemon. And don't even mention it's shiny. It's like someone at Game Freak got bored by the time they got to this Pokemon and realized, oh crap, we need a dragon for this region. Okay, well, here we go. We'll base it on a potentially awesome looking dinosaur, and I don't know, we'll put some scales on it, so no one will question if it's a dinosaur. Blech.
So you don't like Komodo's design. Why? You say it looks awkward, but you give us no explanation for why you think that.
Oh yeah, I see where you're coming from. It did seem like there wasn't anything explained there. You know, because you sped up the video to the point of it being incomprehensible? He did explain why he didn't like his design, you fucking liar!
No, that's wrong!
Kurome, no, he does not explain at all, as he dances around the claim at most and calls it cringe. That is not an explanation. That is just repeating that you dislike it. Now, I am cutting Kurome off a little bit, but that's because he plays Carlos's entire entry without any forms of editing to make it bearable, or adds on to any of what he says, or points out which statements could be seen as explanations, which is something that could support your argument, which in turn could prove Bowserdude wrong. Fan-tucking-fastic.
Oh, look at these two girls. They're so insignificant compared to Pretty Buns. Hi!
Next up is Pyukumuku. This one is just annoying because it could have been something great. Unfortunately, what we got, however, was just another useless Wobbuffet. Not only that, but I personally felt an evolution could have really helped out this guy. It just doesn't seem like a complete Pokemon to me, what with it being so small and having such a bad move pool. I will admit it has a pretty nice ability, if you need a Kamikaze member on your team, of course. But other than that, I can only see this thing being a major hazard in somebody's Nuzlocke.
And again, you don't explain your reasoning for not liking Pyukumuku.
We just sat here and listened to his explanation as to why he didn't like this Pokemon. And you claim he didn't give one. You just fuck off.
Repetitive repetition is repetitive. And considering later on he got into Bowserdude's case for being repetitive, well, you'll see in a second.
Come sit down, Bowser. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica.
I picked Monica!
You know what? Fuck it, we're done here, because essentially all you do in this comm is claim there's no reasoning given ever when there was over and over and over and over and over again.
Except no, he really doesn't, as you only covered less than 3 minutes of a 13-minute video. And I can certainly tell you offhand that he made more points than that. Hell, you using a skip card implies that there's more to the video that he didn't show, and by extension, didn't feel the need to point out issues with. Meaning that you are actively lying to your audience.
So, what is there to say? How about listening to the argument instead of repeating the same interjection time and time again in the hopes someone will believe you, despite how evident it is to the contrary? Whether Carlos' reasoning was good or not, you didn't even try to debunk any of it, opting to deny any points were made in the first place. Fucking Christ.
You know, this statement is the most hypocritical thing in this video, and if I can go on a bit of a tangent unrelated to this, as you got into Bowserdude's case for being repetitive, yet you yourself are repetitive in this video. Now, before someone argues hypocrisy doesn't make you wrong, that's not the fucking point of hypocrisy. The point is practice what you preach, which is criticism, which is kind of, you know, the point of a commentary, or at least for the ones who try to give criticism. Because how dare I give my target criticism? Now, are there instances where hypocrisy does make someone wrong? Sure. However, hypocrisy doesn't only exist to invalidate a point, and everyone acting like it does is, for lack of a better word, dumb. Also, there are instances in Bowserdude's video where he did try to debunk Carlos's reasoning, like, as an example, the entire fucking video.
And again, you don't explain your reasoning for not liking Pyukumuku. And it's even worse here since you don't show me anything that could give me an idea for why you don't like Pyukumuku. And for something like Pyukumuku's moveset, it shouldn't be too hard to explain why you think it's bad. All you would have to say is that Pyukumuku has no proper attacking moves. The only way Pyukumuku can do damage is through Toxic, Bide, Counter, and Pain Split. And those are not the most reliable ways of doing damage, which makes Pyukumuku really hard to use in a main game playthrough. But even with that, I don't think we can consider Pyukumuku's moveset to be completely bad. Since while it's not a very effective Pokemon in the main story, it can be an effective Pokemon in competitive. It can be a great support Pokemon with moves like Taunt, Safeguard, Purify, Memento, Venom Drench, Light Screen, Reflect, and it can summon Hail and Rain. It has Soak, so it can make any Pokemon a water type so it can poison anything, and it's a great Baton Pass user with Curse, and with high defenses and Recover, it has amazing survivability. Now some of you might be saying that just because I can prove that Pyukumuku's moveset can be good, that doesn't really debunk anything, because Pokedan saying that Pyukumuku's moveset is bad is just his opinion. My rebuttal to this is that Pokedan said that Pyukumuku's moveset was bad, not that he thinks it's bad, that it is bad, which alone can only be taken as an objective statement. So me proving how it can be good is fair game. But wait, there's more, because mentioning all those moves that Pyukumuku can learn also really hurts Pokedan's Wobbuffet comparison. Since while Wobbuffet does lack proper attacking moves like Pyukumuku, its moveset focuses on taking the damage it receives and throwing it back at its opponent. As we can see in its moveset, which only has 4 moves by the way, of Counter, Mirror Guard, and Destiny Bond. It does have a support move with Safeguard, but that was really meant for itself since status moves like Burn and Poison can destroy Wobbuffet alone. And while they're both defensive Pokemon, Wobbuffet focuses on extremely high HP, while Pyukumuku has high physical and special defense.
Like, legit, as of now, this is by far the worst commentary I have seen this year. This is worse than Ceredust comms, worse than the people checking your scripts video that they put out this year. Hell, I'd even say it's even worse than Sox Try Up on 6T, because at the very least, they use more than one goddamn point.
The fuck did you just say about me, you goddamn discount killer kill? Okay, but seriously, you try to pass off that Bowser Dude's video as one of the worst things you've ever seen. I find that hard to believe when, once again, you only covered not even a quarter of the video. But also considering you only brought up 2 issues with the video at best, while I could write an entire thesis paper on about the amount of issues mild content had. Yeah, are you sure you didn't watch your own video ahead of time, record final thoughts for that video, and then send the wrong lines to your editor? Because I fail to see how something this hypocritical got into the video.
This has been Kurome Toa. I need a drink.
Hey Kurome, quick question. Why is it that in most of your videos you always end it with a "lol, I'ma die now" meme? Now while yes, those who are new to his channel won't suffer this issue, this doesn't change the fact his intro skits are unoriginal as all hell, and Kurome needs to get original in terms of outro skits. Now this fuckfest finally ends. Final thoughts! Now, Kurome, I feel like you've started to go downhill for quite some time now. Now, while I didn't notice this until your response to Kirby, it was eminent ever since your co-op on Jonah. Anyways, my main issues with the videos I cover today are A, the needless fight towards Jonah and company. Look, I get it, no one's perfect, but that also includes you for continuing to treat him like shit. When, shock of all shocks, people can change and realize they done fucked up. I get this is like the 3rd time I've said this, but honestly, at this point, I just wanted to get through your thick skull. And I know none of this is my business. However, when you keep making these jokes that are built off false pretenses, then it becomes my problem, because I, and, well, it's your audience, now have to suffer through the spite that isn't even accurate. Either quit bringing him up altogether, or resolve the issues you have with each other. Go for a walk, talk about anime, read 50 Shades of Grey, I don't fucking care, just get over this bridge already. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start calling you Irish Obscurian. And B, laziness. Now, when it comes to production, I absolutely loathe when someone puts no effort into a video, myself included. Now, Kurome, I get not everyone cares about visual production, however, that doesn't suddenly make it something that shouldn't be considered altogether. Now, look, I still think you have potential. You've made some good videos before. The video on Sock, or hell, even the live stream commentaries you did up with Doodle Tones on me. I still hold that in high regard, and that was fucking unscripted. So what the hell happened here that you didn't do there? And if at all, why not? And while you did get good in your video on Benjamin Perry, I don't really know what else to say other than don't do this shit again. Also, your waifus are trash. Get good. Now then, don't I have a plot to resume? Ah shit, it might be going Jesus! Oh wait, Jesus respect it!